sequel nobody asked for.
Hello and welcome to a sequel nobody asked for.
Is that your robot voice? Because that was
No,
not good.
no,
I thought that was his real voice.
that's not my robot voice. That was my. I've been stolen and replaced by a baked good, and this is how I talk now because I no longer have a brain.
Baked goods sound like B grade robots.
Well,
When they
you
take
gotta
control
think
of your
about it.
body.
Yeah, it's a baked good.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. It's too bad Nico's not here right now. But anyways, we've got Daniel here, we've got Kyle, we've got me, I guess, and we're gonna figure out what is the best sweet baked good slash fried good, something that's got a good amount of graininess and yumminess to it. We're thinking like pancakes, pies, tiramisu. What's the best dessert, basically, but not like ice cream
Except
based.
except
not
pancakes are
exclusively.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like created grain snack sweet thing.
I can't
That's
wait
my
to
thought.
make the title for this. You gotta think of something good, Kyle, because we're figuring out what the best fill in the blank here is.
Because we're gonna starch it up on this episode of the podcast.
Oh, that hurt me.
Nice.
That hurt me.
Oh, I liked it.
That
I
hurt
didn't
my
even know what that
insides
meant.
like when I eat too much
I
ice
didn't even know.
cream.
I didn't even know what that meant. Can we just start this?
Oh yeah.
I just thought Captain Underpants when he said starch.
Ooh.
Ooh, Captain Underpants.
Mhm.
All right.
Speaking of underpants and the lack of them, I'm just saying.
There's a reason we only see Justin's top half on the video.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me not need to stand up for anything. Okay, we've got the first round, guys. We got some cine rolls and tiramisu. Do we
Well,
have
cinnamon rolls because I don't know what tiramisu tastes like. I can't remember.
Like coffee.
like
Oh,
creamy coffee?
It's a cake, lady fingers, and like a coffee type cream, usually sprinkled with like cocoa powder or something like that on top.
Oh,
But
cool.
also, I vote cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going with cinnamon rolls.
We're going cinnamon rolls. There's just something different about the glaze, the cream you put on top. It's just beautiful, and you get excited every time that you do it.
You ever go to the
Mhm.
mall and then like the Cinnabon, they're working ham on filling those orders, and you're just like, ooh, the smell. That's the best kind of marketing right here. I'll take 7, and then you
Yep.
go home and cry.
Yeah,
It's how
because you
much
spent
fucking-
$100 on 7 cinnamon rolls. Exactly.
pretty much, and just the negative effect you're gonna have on your body.
Yeah.
How do we feel about naked cinnamon rolls though? Like before they get that icing on there. Have you ever tried one, or have you always had one that's all buttered up?
I mean, in that case, it's just kind of like cinnamon flavored bread.
Like a dinner roll almost.
Like
yeah.
a monkey bread? Ah, we didn't put monkey bread on the list. That'll be in round 2 next summer. Revenge of the baked goods that are sweet and might also be breakfast foods. Okay, we got round 2. Churro versus waffles.
Ooh, that's tough.
Ooh, churro versus waffles.
So I am going. The only reason I'm gonna pick this, I'm going waffles, and the only reason I'm picking this is because I have a personal bias against churros. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I had to take a Spanish class, and the teacher's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a Spanish class party here. Everyone's got to make something," and I got stuck with making churros. So you're gonna tell a fucking 13-year-old to make churros? So it's like, all right, well, they're gonna turn out bad. They turned out bad to the point where it was like, all right, well, this is inexcusable. When I was visiting my freaking aunt, I stopped by a Mexican grocery store and bought like literally they had churros where you could buy like one for $1. I bought like all but one of them, and then I just like cut them up and brought them to the Spanish party, and nobody touched my house made churros because they were garbage. So I have a lot of bias against churros, and that's why I'm picking waffles.
I didn't think at the beginning of this. I thought people were gonna have strong opinions for certain items, but the fact that you have a vendetta against one is kind of weird. But I understand it now. if I was a failure like that, I'd get it. I'd get it.
Plus, waffles have syrup pockets.
Yeah, and you can just put cinnamon on a waffle.
So do my
Yeah.
pants. Does it?
That's not a syrup pocket. That's a pocket.
No comment. No comment. So you're going with churro, Daniel. Where are
I'm
you
going
going?
with waffle. I'm going with waffle.
Yeah, how did you get that? I say I have a similar experience where I had to make churros over a fire while camping, like boiling oil over a fire, which was not fun. And so I'm also gonna go with waffle because again, you can just put cinnamon sugar on a waffle along with chicken or whatever else,
Ooh.
and it's just better.
Chicken
Mhm.
on a waffle. Nobody's making chicken and churros. We're gonna move waffles on to that next round. Up
I
next,
think my favorite
Oh.
part about this segment is that both myself and Daniel had anti-churro stories.
Mhm.
Like, that's so niche, and we both have them.
so relatable.
Mhm.
Everyone in the audience is probably thinking how they had that one rough time with the churro. They're like, I remember the year, I remember the day when the churros attacked. Pancakes and Rice Krispies in our baked
What a
goods
combo.
tier list.
Rice Krispie treats, not just the cereal.
Yes.
Just dry Rice Krispies versus
Mm.
pancakes.
What are we thinking? And this is any version of them. You could have strawberry shortcake pancakes. You could have Rice Krispie treats with anything on them. You pick.
Any version of them?
Yep.
All right,
But
I'm
you gotta
gonna
state a case for it.
I'm gonna pull something out of here then. Cocoa Rice Krispie treat.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
That might make you reconsider going
What
straight
about-
for pancakes.
What about Lucky Charms Rice Krispie treats?
That's not. You're
That's
missing
Lucky
one of the
Charm treats.
fundamental ingredients of Rice Krispie treats.
I would say I was trying to think of like an argument for pancakes, like the different things you can put on top and everything like that. But I just hate having to make them.
Yeah.
And then put all this stuff on top and everything. But Rice Krispies, like you make it, put it all in one thing, and then you just cut it up and you got a whole tray of it. Compared to pancakes, where you got to flip it 18 times and then figure out what you're putting on top and all that fun stuff. So I'm thinking Rice Krispies.
Well, how do we
Yeah,
feel
go
about
for it.
like IHOP pancakes? Anything about them?
Not gonna lie,
They're-
I always order them on the side, and then I just take them home for leftovers instead of getting toast.
Well, that is how they basically make them. Is they're just already constructed, and they reheat them later. I feel like they're trashy, but in a good way. And
I mean, isn't that kind of a lot of food
Oh,
at
yeah.
breakfast places like diners like that? Is it's just like
Yeah.
But the fact that pancakes are getting that done to them is kind of a travesty. But I'm also okay
especially
with it.
since they are the International House of Pancakes. You
Exactly.
expect quality. So the reason I'm voting for Rice Krispies now is to stick it to IHOP.
Deal. I concur.
Well, I don't even have to vote then. I guess Rice Krispies are moving on.
And while we're at IHOP, what was that deal when they were going about with burgers?
IHOP, I knew it was gonna come up. Well,
Mhm.
I would have been okay with it. I love me a burger. I'm not
Do
complaining.
if they are so callous about pancakes, do you want a burger from them?
Well, they're gonna ruin all those one-legged waitress jokes by changing it to IHOB.
I think maybe that's what
You
they're going
hobble
for.
around. The joke still works.
Yeah, you just got one leg that's a little bit shorter instead of just not having one.
Now I just want a pirate-themed pancake house. Anyways, pie versus donuts.
I'm going donuts. I hate pie crust.
Donuts.
But let's think about other kinds of pie crust.
Let's think about other kinds of donuts. French crullers.
Bear
Got the
claws.
Boston
That just
cream.
sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds cool to have a bear claw.
I was gonna
Got the
say
sprinkles.
those are part of the donut family tree right there. And if that tree is made out of all those kinds of donuts, you know I'm eating that.
This is a visual representation of me eating a Long John. I pick it up and I just go
Like
done.
you just
just
nibble
done.
and slam it in your mouth.
It's exactly what happens, and then I just go for like a minute straight, and then I'm done.
Cream flying
How
out.
else are you supposed to eat Long Johns? Let's be real.
You don't. I eat them like long way,
corn
like,
on the cob.
corn on the
Like
cob. Yeah,
the
bite in the
corn on
middle
the
and then
cob. Like
and then
freaking goofy.
rotate. Yeah.
Nope, I'm just
You
teasing
get
it. I
more
tease it
cream
and then
dispersion. I would say for donuts, I can eat a donut for breakfast. I can eat a donut like for dessert at the end of the day. I've never eaten pie for breakfast.
Donuts are very versatile.
Okay, and then I guess we're going with donuts. Up next, we got cupcakes and cookies. Cookies and cupcakes. Both can be frosted. Both can be baked goods.
Can be or are.
Yeah, I was gonna say these aren't. You're just describing what they are at this point.
All right,
Both could
Justin, what's
have
your thought on
chocolate.
this one?
Okay, I'll start this one off. I've been kind of taking a back seat while you guys have been up front, driving along. Got cupcakes in both your cup holders, cookies at your feet. I don't like cupcakes. Every time you get them at like a birthday party or something, you either lick off all the frosting and don't eat the cake itself, or the frosting is disgusting, so you just eat the cake. You never eat both. It's just this weird dance that you're having, and it's with
What
yourself,
exactly
and
makes
you're alone
what
and
is
you're
what
sad.
exactly makes cupcakes different from just like what about it makes it different from eating it compared to like cake?
Ooh.
They're just poorly put together. Like usually the cakes they're on a upper echelon of
I say I got one word,
ingredients and what
like ratio.
that too.
That's the difference between a
That's
cupcake and a cake.
okay, because now that you mention it, I haven't seen a cupcake that's different from like having all the frosting like swirled up in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a higher concentrate, whereas most cakes have it like layered.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you eat it with a fork, you get some frosting, you get some cake. The cupcake, unless you break it apart, drop half the crumbs on the ground, and make it a sandwich,
You
you
have
take a
yet to
bite, it
see.
explodes everywhere. It's not evenly distributed. But with the cake, you go to the fork, you get the bite.
I think
Perfect.
you just invented a cupcake sandwich.
I mean, I'll take credit for it, but yeah,
Cupcake sandwich.
that is
You have
my
yet to see.
preferred way to eat a cupcake. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna vote for cookies, but you gotta have the cookies be soft.
Notice
I
how
can't
all we
st-
did was trash talk cupcakes. We didn't say a single thing
you,
about cookies.
That's all arguments need is
well,
Yeah.
the
and
diss
because
track.
here's the thing, you gotta have cookies be soft because I've had cookies that are like hockey pucks. And those are a bitch to eat. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what kind of milk you have. I don't trust you if you like your cookies hard.
Yeah. No, you should make a shirt like soft or go home. You know. But yeah, I agree. If I don't got a soft cookie, I'm very upset.
If the cookie ain't flaccid, I don't want it. I don't want it. We're moving
See, you
on.
just made it weird. You just made
Mm-hmm.
it weird.
What do you mean?
What's
What?
that? Yeah, you get a droopy cookie, you got a nice glass of milk, crumbs
That just
everywhere,
makes me
milk
think
dripping.
that like a soft cookie will eventually get really hard.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, you leave
the
it on the
cookie
counter
will
for 2
eventually
weeks.
become stale and erect. It makes sense. Lemon bars, cheesecake. Lemon bars and cheesecake.
I'll go first on this one. Lemon bars suck. So here's the thing. This is what I'm gonna say. Lemon bars, you like them because they're like a little bit sour, a little bit sweet. You get that tang, right?
Yep.
The better version of that is a cheesecake because you get a little bit of the sour and everything from the cheese, a little bit of the tang, but you can put different fruits in there, different other things, chocolate, peanut butter, whatever else, and it's just better.
You know what? I I don't hate lemon bars. I think that they're fun baked good, but there is some
I do.
damn fine cheesecake out there. Like
I
man,
bet there's a lemon cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
probably, which
That's
just means
Probably
both
does
lemon
the
worlds.
job
bars,
better.
which just tells me that lemon bars are playing for both sides. And in that case, I'm gonna go with the side that's better already, and I'm going cheese.
Cheesecake, where we brought up pie before, not liking the crust, think about all those delicious cheesecake crusts.
Mm-hmm.
All the different kinds of shortbread, Oreo,
Almond.
cookie, almond, pecan if you're a crazy person. But there's all these different ones, and they never disappoint. They're never super flowery like a
Mm-hmm.
pie would be. Ugh.
Yeah, and it just raises the combination effect too. Different crust with a different filling makes it a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for it. We don't even need to linger anymore. Cannoli versus regular old cake. The classic. Cannoli, I love me some cannoli. But when do you ever get a good cannoli? You have to go to a shop. Like you have
Pretty
to
much.
go to a shop because if you get the grocery store cannolis, it just tastes like plastic
Hmm.
and you don't want it.
I get that like pie crust effect where it's like a little bit too dry, like the shell, and it doesn't have as much flavor as I'd like. So I
Yeah,
get the
I
same
gotta
experience.
say that because you can get a good cake at a good grocery store.
Hmm.
I don't think you can get a good cannoli unless it's Mamma Mia's cannoli, you know?
It's like, can you share some? I've never had a Mamma Mia's cannoli.
Yeah,
It
that
sounds
and I
pretty
think
good.
Nico is cringing right now wherever he's at. He's like, my Italian, it hurts.
I that for the Italian desserts that we have here, I really do kind of wish Nico was here to fight more for them because I'm voting cake, but I
Mm.
feel like it would be a very impassioned like Nico would come up and be like, all right, cannoli wins because I had this cannoli from my Mamma Mia one time. Ooh,
Honestly, I can see if you think like best cannoli you can get and best cake that you can get. I think that the cannoli can have some good qualities, maybe a nice like different kind of like
I
cream
like how it's
filling, pastry
lighter.
cream or whatever.
It's a lighter.
I like that you can, yeah, maybe eat multiples of them, like so you can
there's
have
a
different flavors at the same time.
there's a
But
cake boss. There's not a cannoli boss.
yet,
All I know is
I mean,
I want to work for that boss. Hey, boss,
cannoli
give me
boss.
one of them cannolis. And I just get paid in cannolis weekly. Probably, yeah, weekly. I would not even bi-monthly, just weekly. That would be awesome. I'm okay with
It would
this.
be sweet.
Yeah.
Think about your
So
401k after a couple cannolis.
your 401 cannoli.
Yeah,
Ooh,
pretty much. Yeah.
you're my only hope. Let's go on to muffins and brownies.
I'm
These
gonna
are
go
the
brownies on
last
this
of
one.
the new introductions. Otherwise, we're
Yeah,
going
I'm,
on
Gotcha.
to the next round. So this is muffins and brownies.
yeah, this one's easy for me, brownie.
Yeah, I think I'm not a huge chocolate fan, but brownies are my favorite baked good. And so I think for me that says something. Like just they got to be a nice chewy fudgy brownie.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't like
You
the
don't like the
corners too much
Krispies?
if it's overdone. But I like a little bit of chew to it, almost a little bit underdone in the middle. Um, I love a good muffin, but brownies are gonna win.
Muffins, think about their double chocolatey chip. Are you a fan of those?
I mean, I'd rather have a brownie stuffed into a cupcake tin at that point.
I mean, yeah, the double chocolate chip muffin may be good, but the muffin's gonna come out. Ideally, they come out the same consistency each time. With brownies, depending on if you're gonna get quarter piece and middle piece,
Hmm.
you get the dessert and you get the excitement because
What's the
you don't
best
know what the
muffin then?
consistency is
What
gonna
is
be.
the best flavor muffin you've ever had?
Pistachio.
Ooh, that sounds good. I
I'm
like
I'm a I'm a fan of good old blueberry.
blueberry cheesecake is good. Like cream cheese, I mean, blueberry cream
Okay.
cheese muffins. Mm.
I think that's the other thing with muffins too. Like brownies, I think you can eat either warm or cold, but I've never really eaten a muffin like straight out of the oven. Like you get it from somewhere, it's always cold. But like brownies, I make them at home and I'll eat them hot. A muffin, I'll usually still let them cool down and eat it cold like the next day.
A muffin, if you do ever get in the zone and actually eat it hot, it's great with butter. But like you said, when does that happen? It just
Cornbread.
doesn't happen. Okay, so brownies is moving on. That makes sense.
Um,
Next up, we're going on to round two.
I
Round
feel like
two.
this is gonna be tough because we made all of our negative arguments about the ones we got rid of.
Yep,
That's
that's
it will
exact.
be tough,
That's the
and
thing
that's
with these.
fine.
You don't want to completely like blow your roll all on one round.
Your cinnamon
Was
roll.
it a was that a baked good joke?
That is the sign of a good bracket if it gets harder as it goes on.
That's the sign of
Just
lots of
like a
things.
good cookie.